All right, day 5. Holy hell, how is it day 5 already? Yep, everything is working first try too, which is super nice. I fixed my music issue, so that should now just play without me having to do anything. But yeah, day 5. We're halfway through the game jam. Yesterday we established our goals are to work on updating the widgets, reduce sensitivity of camera controls, display active weapon slots, display active weapon ammo pools, display radar compass, display player speed, main menu options. Camera controls are probably what I'm going to do first, because I think I know how to fix that. And if I'm wrong, well, what can I say, right? Let me just make sure I'm sitting upright in my chair. Been having a bad issue with slouching during these streams. Okay, we can hide the nav mesh. Okay, so let's start with fixing our camera controls, which I believe the actual speed at which the camera moves is controlled by the player blueprint here. We can get rid of this. And then just in case, I'm also going to just pull up that widget. See if there's anything functionally in there as well. Look up is right here. So it goes pretty much every tick. Access value negative 0.5 and 0.5 here for look up and look down. Look left and right are the same values. Okay, so what was I complaining about? Oh wow, that's fast. This doesn't feel fast, but this does feel fast. I wonder if we can change the access value to, I don't know, 0.25. And this one to negative 0.25. See how that feels. That feels a little more manageable, even if this still feels kind of imprecise. Alright, let's address an issue I have with our current setup with this HUD. Because right now, let me properly full screen this. Right now, one of our issues is you can't really turn the camera diagonally. You can only kind of go left and up or right and down, vice versa, you know? Ideally, this would feel natural, you know, you just kind of push against the border of the HUD to look in the direction you want to look. So I think how we're going to do this is we're going to put a square button in each corner to allow us to look more diagonally. So let's start doing that. So we need to go to our designer tab here and we need to add a new button. And we'll call this button upper up, have an up and right. Make sure we anchor it in the center. I'm gonna drag it to where we want it to be. Now these buttons are 500 by 100, so I think we can get away with doing 100 by 100, get a proper square. Then what we'll do is just kind of line it up, be more diagonal. So position X is 290, do 290 here. Position Y is negative 400, so we'll do negative 400 here. And then once we put all 4 buttons in place, we'll just expand the size of these buttons to better map out with Make sure there's no gaps between the buttons, essentially. So let's duplicate up and right. Make it up and left. And with that, we need to do x coordinate -390. And then y coordinate -400, I believe. Yep. Look at that. Starting to look more like what we need it to be. So let's make another duplicate of this. We'll call it down and left. So -390 here. And the y coordinate here is +300. So we'll put +300 there. Look at that, another corner. One more copy. Call it down and right. +300. Then -290, right? Nope. What was it? +290. +290 on graph here. Okay. Now we just need to adjust the size of these buttons. Or would it be smarter to bring this in? Here. Let's say I'm moving the boat like this, right? It feels far. It feels really far. It might be worth stretching it out this way and this way. That would be what? 260 by 260? 260 by 260. Whoops. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Oh shoot. The size is actually going to be 130 by 140. So maybe 150 by 150. And slide this in. Slide this down. So 250 by 250. And then we can just expand the size of these buttons here. So size X will be 250. Nope, 250 is too big. Oh, 150. 150. Man, I don't know if it's coming across, but the music is so loud in my ears right now. Okay, that's a little better. Uh, 250. That looks a little better, but at the same time, not quite sold. You're dragging this up here. 250 is the height. Let's just resize everything, and then we'll just kind of feel it out. Maybe 400. And this is 250, so let's see, 150 by 500, so 150 here. And then just match up the x coordinates here. Let's just feel that real quick. I want to look diagonal. I mean, it kind of feels okay. I know we're not seeing the camera movement, but it feels okay. I kind of feel like there's a better way to do this, but I mean, there's a better way to do this in general, so we'll just have to deal with it as we go. Let's just finish doing what we've already started, and then we'll start adding functionality to these buttons. So x coordinate here is 250. And just do the 150 by 150. Maybe 150. Cool. Now these have an opacity of 0.5, so we should probably do the same here. Okay, so now we need to add some functionality here, down and right. So look down and look right at the same time needs to occur, so we'll just steal this. And steal look down, so that value. And look, this is down and right, down and right. We also need to steal this. Oh shoot, we're skipping steps. So let's put these together, break this link here. Because what we actually need to do is... Okay, just a refresher for those who might be new to the stream, or new to the VOD when this goes up. When you hover on these buttons, it starts a timer, and that timer is what actually triggers an event that tells the player camera to look left to right, up or down. That way, when we unhover, it turns that off. It turns off that timer. And I don't know why I totally skipped that step, but I did. Oh, you know what? We don't have to do any of that, actually. We don't have to do any of this, because we can just grab this and not this, this. Put them back to back like this. And these here will control that for us. We don't need to copy that. So just keep these running. And then on unhovered, we need to do... Oh, I did on clicked too, so that's also an issue. So not on clicked, but on hovered, we do this stuff. And then on unhovered, we're going to clear and invalidate both those timers. We'll need to grab this and this. Make these snug just to make it look clean. And we can just comment on this and say down and right. Give this a unique color. And we'll also slide this up here because we're going to make, I think, 3 more of these. Yeah, 3 more of these. And then I like to keep them separate. So, next one is up and right. On hovered. We want the look up custom event to occur. And we want the look right custom event to occur. Plug those up. And then when we unhover on said button, we want to clear and invalidate those timers. Drag that down. And then drag this over here, just make it snug. Let's comment on this. Up and right. Gonna turn that music down just a little bit more. My headset. Can't wait to get on Discord like a day or 2 from now and just be like, oh shoot, everyone's quiet. Okay. Let's just test this real quick just to make sure it's working as intended. Hey, you know what? That kind of feels pretty natural, actually. Yeah, that feels really natural, actually. Wow. I'm glad that works the way as well as it does. I was expecting this to be like my other blueprints where it's like, yeah, it works, but it feels weird. But no, this actually feels kind of nice. All right, unhovered. So this is up and left, so we're gonna throw this one up here. So we want the looking up and looking left. Grab the unhovered. Okay, look it up. Put that there. And then look left. Comment that. Up and left. With that unique color. Make sure we can see that when we're zoomed out. Let's test that real quick. Oh god. Maybe we should put a hard lock on how far the camera can go down. Can we do that very simply? Probably here. Maybe on the spring arm, actually. You don't need any of that. Offset, target offset. Oh, that's movement input. We can look into this later. At least we know this is working, and this is working, and this is working. So just one more to do. Down and left on hovered. So we want the looking down. And then looking right, looking right. And we need to do unhovered. Drag that over here. And we want to clear the looking down handle and the looking right? Hold on, looking left. Whoops. Not you. Look left, look left. There it is. Put that there. Down and left. Cool. So in the blueprint successes, we can do adjusted sensitivity of camera controls. We also added diagonal. That doesn't look right. Well, it's not correcting me, so diagonal camera input buttons. Okay, so now we want to display the active weapon slots. So I don't think I even added functionality for that just yet. Oh shoot, I haven't even... Oh, it's a mess up here. Oh, it's a mess up here. Okay, let's start by commenting off this stuff. I'm assuming this is all the spawn. So this is the load save system. The only thing it doesn't seem to load right now is the ammo for the weapons that we've got, which we can probably save in the player. Oh yeah, actually, you know what? I already set up functionality for that too. So first, let's make sure that we add that functionality to the save system as well. Yep, I knew I didn't do it. Okay, so we don't need this. Available armory, we'll keep hold of that for just a second. We need to add new integers. We'll call this single barrel ammo pool. Go ahead and duplicate that. This will be the triple barrel ammo pool. And then we'll duplicate this one more time to get the torpedo ammo pool. Cool, now we just need to load this. So we'll start with, I'm assuming each one is, yeah, each branch of this save system is for a different turret. Let's do this. Comment off this stuff and say load boat choice. Roll this up here. Maybe back a little bit. Well, next we're going to comment off this stuff and call it load single barrel cannons and ammo. There we go, section that off a little bit. Make sure we link those up correctly. Grab all this, roll it down. Grab all this, comment. Load triple barrel cannons and ammo. Roll that up there. Slide these over just to make it look nice. Then finally, highlight all this, bring it down, comment. Load torpedoes and ammo pool. Oh, and then what we'll do is we'll comment all of this off. Call it load player arsenal. Give this a nice color. Oh, now we can start expanding on this. So the next thing we're going to need to load is the player's ammo pool per weapon, because they're going to be able to choose how much ammo they want to bring in. So let's get single barrel ammo pool. Here's what we'll do. Grab this here, plug this in like that, and then we can drag this out. Get single barrel ammo pool, do this, and now we can line it up like that, just to make it look a little cleaner. Let's see, we'll need to do the same thing here, I'm pretty sure. So let's drag this way down. There we go. Now we can see that they're doing separate things. And we need to set the triple barrel ammo pool. Get triple barrel ammo pool. Do that. Then here, we don't need to do too much different, just drag this a little lower. get torpedo ammo pool. And then we'll set this right. Oh, I had my mouse over the wrong part of the screen. There we go. Cool. So now that we have ammo functionality added to the load system, we need to add ammo functionality to the shoot system. So let's start with the single barrel cannon. First, check if it's reloading. We're going to need to... What engine am I using? I'm using Unreal Engine 4.27. I would be using Unreal Engine 5.6, but for some reason my desktop can't run it and my laptop can, so that's the world I'm living in right now. Has to player about. Get player character. And then we just want to pull the single ammo pool. And as long as it's greater than 0, it'll do our cool shooting mechanics. And over here, let's pop this up, drag across, get single ammo pool, we'll decrement there. Get rid of that print string, don't need it anymore. Let's see, is there anything else we need to do in here for the moment? Let's turn off the line trace just so that we don't have to see it while we're working. Right, next gun we need to do is for the triple barrel cannon. I put the wrong ammo pool for that one. Did it do the same thing over here? Oh wait, this is the turret parent. What are we doing in here? Oh. That's odd. Okay. Let's try that again. Shoot. Nope, still going to the turret parent for some reason. Let's open up the weapon blueprints here. Okay, that's why the single barrel cannon is doing that, but why is the triple barrel cannon doing that? Yeah, the triple barrel cannon has its own shooting mechanics, so it shouldn't be calling on the turret parent. Is there a way I can go around this, maybe? Here, what if I do this? Remove context sensitive. It looks easy, just saying I'm using Pygame and Python. Dude, Pygame and Python, though, are pretty interesting. I took a... I went to university a long time ago to in an attempt to learn programming. It didn't end up working out for me. But the couple months that I spent there trying to understand Python and Pygame, like, it was super fascinating. I thought it was super cool. So the fact that you're able to do it at all is pretty awesome, considering Python is a more... How do you say it? I don't want to say it's a lightweight programming language, because I don't think that's the right terminology. But like, that's the best way I can think of describing it. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm crazy, but yeah, we'll just force it here. Yeah, the trick with Unreal Engine versus Unreal Engine has C++, so I got to speak a little differently on this. The difference between you're a student and you're doing it for fun. Oh, that's cool. The difference between Unreal Engine's blueprint visual scripting and other like more traditional programming languages like C++, C#, and Python is it's more about memorization of the nodes than it is memorization of typing out full functions and scripts. There is still a lot of like the same core, like, I don't want to say philosophies, but I think that's the best way I can put it right now, where, you know, the same coding practices you would have in scripting, you should have in this visual scripting. Like, for example, it's good to organize and comment on your work, so that way either you or someone else can look at this later and go, oh, I know what this is, and then you line it up so that way it's easy to read and understand and follow the functionality of. It is technically easier if you have the patience for it. It took me, God, almost 10 years to build up the patience to start learning visual scripting properly, because I was a dumb teenager who just wished I could hit a button and say make game. But, you know, we all grow up eventually. So I need to do a cast to player boat here. Get player character. Move this point light down. Are you participating in the game jam, Cocolada, if I'm pronouncing that correctly? Or are you just kind of enjoying the show for right now? What was I getting? Oh, right, triple ammo pool. There we go. Then we want to get a branch. Make sure that our ammo pool is greater than 0. And if it is greater than 0, check and see that we're not shooting ourselves. And if we're not shooting ourselves, do the muzzle flash. Shoot the projectile, make sure its damage is set to the triple barrel cannon's damage value. And we need to decrement that value as well. So let's slide this over here a little bit. And drag across. Here. Get triple ammo pool. And decrement. There we go. So now we should start burning through our ammo pool. And then just to make sure all of this is working as intended, you're not doing the game jam, just enjoying the stream? Well, welcome aboard. I hope you're having fun, and I hope that you'll find what comes next fun too. Because we're primarily working on our user interface. I just forgot to set up the actual ammo functionality for the guns, so I needed to implement that before I added a ammo counter on screen. So now to just make sure that this is working, let's give our triple barrel cannons 9 ammo. And then every time we shoot, we'll print a string. And we'll print how much ammo we have left. Okay. Get it, then translate it. Do I have it set that we have triple barrel cannons? Oh shoot, wrong value. We'll give ourselves 1 triple barrel cannon, and we'll give ourselves 9 rounds. And now if we test this, we have 1 triple barrel cannon. You can kind of see that it's got triple barrels from this view. Or is this the single barrel cannon? This is the single barrel cannon. Hold on. Really hard to... There we go. Do we still have single barrel cannons active? Yes, we do. Turn that off. That doesn't look right. What's going on here? One, 0, 0. Let's follow our logic here. Let's comment this off. Event begin play. Make sure we can see that. So we load our heads up display, add it to the player's screen, and then we load our save. This is how we load our save. We check if a save slot exists, and if it does, load the game from slot. Oh, you know what's going on? I forgot that ages ago, on day 2 or day 3, I hit save with 2 cannons. My save slot still has 2 single barrel cannons. God, that's annoying. I also don't think I added any values to the array here. So yeah, those triple barrel cannons are spawning at coordinate nothing because there's nothing there. So this is all kinds of screwy right now. So let me find the project file and delete my save. Wouldn't be the first time I had to do this. Let's see. Where does it save? Autosaves? No. Probably content. Nope. God, it's been so long since I've had to do this that I genuinely don't remember where it saves my save slot. Not there, not there. Save games, here we go. Delete. Okay, my save slot is gone. So now what we need to do is go back to our save slot here. We need to get these values translated from this array to this array. So let's go ahead and add 3 slots here. Slot 0 we can leave blank because that's a placeholder slot. Slot 1 we can just copy these coordinates here and paste them like so. And then location number 2 from the array, we can just copy and paste like this as well. So now if we try this, well, it should have given us cannons. I'm not seeing them though. So something else is still going wrong. What could it possibly be? So the cannon arrays are being loaded. That's good. First index 1. 1, 1, triple cannon ground. Let's do this. Let's add a print string at the end just to make sure that this is working as intended. And it's not. Okay. So the next question becomes, where is this failing? So let's take this print string here. I think we know that it's working when our single barrel cannons count is more than 1. Let's just see if it's successfully deleted my save. Okay, that's working. Well, my save is deleted. That's the important part. We know this point right here between selecting our boat and spawning the single barrel cannons is working, and we can validate that by just having the print string there, and you can see that it doesn't say hello. Okay, so the print string is failing. Oh, you know what? I know what's going wrong. So we deleted our save earlier, right? Well, now we don't have a save, so now the game is just making a save for no reason. I say that, but I still don't have a save game in my save games folder, so clearly something went wrong. Oh boy. Save game. So create save game object. Save game to slot. That should be all we need to do to get this started. I don't have any of my leftover spaghetti code from day 1. So maybe what I need to do is, once this is done, just load save game again. Oof, infinite loop detected. So in other words, it's not successfully creating our save game. And you know why? Because I'm silly and I forgot to do this. The save game object is also not selected, which is great. So I skipped a whole series of steps there. This should fix that. So now if we close the game and I open my folder, I should see a save game slot. I don't know why I closed it when I knew I was going to have to validate this again anyway. Save games. Yep, slot 1 is back. Goodness sakes. So now if I hit play, yep, there's my triple barrel cannon. And I can tell it's the triple barrel cannon because it's not shooting. Oh my god. Okay, there's a breakdown in the shooting mechanics. Get all actors with tag. Yeah, why? I still don't know why it's trying to communicate with the turret parent when it has an override function built in. Let's see, it's called shoot here. So maybe because it's called event shoot. Nope. Why is it failing? Full barrel cannons right there. But when I look up shoot, it only pulls up the turret one and the torpedo one, not its own. Oh, that's even more mysterious. What am I doing wrong? The event shoot. Hold on, turret parent. Event shoot is right there. We know this is working. Do we? Hold on. Let's make it 1. Okay, both turrets are in the same spot now. So what if I just take location 2 and put it in location 1, like so. That way they're standing next to each other instead of on top of each other. Oh well. They're as separate as I can get them, I guess. Interesting. Single barrel ammo count. Let's increase that to 5. Okay, so there's a breakdown somewhere here. What if I add the print string to... Here, let's do this. Oops, I did not mean to highlight all of that. So let's break all links. Oh. Right, active weapon. That might be part of the reason it's not the triple barrel cannons were not shooting. Because the triple barrel cannons were not the active weapon. However, the single barrel cannons were also not shooting. Let's just make sure our shoot function's working. Okay, we have a couple print strings still going off here. At least we know this is working. Now it's the shooting mechanic that's not working. So what if we do this now? Call function shoot. Target is turret parent. It shouldn't be though, because we're using the single barrel cannon. mean, the single barrel cannon is a child actor of the turret parent, but that still shouldn't be what causes that. Let's look this back up. Do shoot one more time. Kill turret parent. Now if we do shoot again, but take off context sensitive, yeah, it's still calling in other stuff for some reason. I wonder, can I... Single barrel cannon. Let's do something silly. Let's create a new variable. We'll call it single ref. Turn this into an actor. Oh shoot, declare owner is also saying target is turret parent. Ooh, okay. So let's go actor. We want an object reference, I think? Yeah. Compile and save that. We'll set the reference like this. This is temporary, we're just trying to test something. Okay, drop back down to our shooting mechanic here. Plug this in. Get all actors of type, array element. Shoot. Nope, still. This is weird. I've not seen this before. When I was making weapon systems for I already forgot what project it was for. The 8-hour game jam I did last year. Everything referenced the right weapon system, so I'm not entirely sure why it's only referencing the parent, unless there's some way to say that this is not a public actor. No, that's not it. That's not it either. Public. Nope. Okay, that's not it. Artwork enabled. Base damage reloading, auto timer, weapon pool. Replication's not relevant. Rendering, collision, actor, can be damaged, initial lifespan, block input, auto receive. Generate optimized blueprint. No, that's not it either. That's so weird. What is going on? I mean, the declare owner stuff is working. So... Okay, I should probably explain. So we have a function in our parent called declare owner. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, this is it. And basically it gets the it gives the actor on spawn a tag, the tag being player. That way, when we are attempting to shoot, for example, we only ask actors with the right tag to do so for us. Issue being, for some reason, it's not... Anyway, declare owner is working, and we know that because not only does it assign a player tag, but it also communicates... Let's see, up here? It communicates the location for the weapon to spawn, and we know that that's working since we got the triple barrel cannons to spawn where we needed them to. So why is shoot being weird? That's the question. Let's do shoot. Assume it's turret parent. Now shoot's not working for single barrel, despite single barrel being the active weapon. Oh, you know what? Maybe just hook that back up for a second. What is your problem? What are you doing all of a sudden? Alright, let's be weird. Break this for a second. Make a new custom event. Nope. Custom event. We'll call it triple shoot. And we'll see if we can call that. So we need to set active weapon to 1. Cast to our triple barrel cannons. And search triple shoot. Okay. Whatever, man. So now we gotta test if this works. So let's go back to our save. Reduce our available single barrel cannons to 0 just so we can see this better. And suddenly it works. Okay, so if I shoot one more time, we should be out of ammo. Wait for it, and then once those lasers disappear, shoot again. And we can't because we're out of ammo. Cool. I don't know why that's working the way that it is, but I guess we're gonna have to take all of this information here and move it to the single barrel cannon so it can operate independently of the parent blueprint. I don't know why, but that's the reality we are living in right now. So we'll make a custom event here. We'll call it single shoot and hook that up. Then there's a custom event hidden in here somewhere that's annoying the hell out of me. Yeah, just delete that. In case I need to do more work in there later, I don't want to have to type in custom event twice because I misinput. The event pin is invalid. Oh. Custom event, reload. Does that make you happy? Yep. Make sure that reload mechanic is in here too. Oh, it's not. Okay. Custom event, reload. Hook that back up. Cool. Okay. Now we just got to replace this with single shoot. And this should just work fine because the torpedoes are a completely separate actor from the turret parent. Alright, let me get a sip of my caffeine. Man, I'm seriously caffeine starved today. I forgot to bring my energy powder to work today, so I'm operating on like half the caffeine I normally have by this point in the day. Okay, so just to make sure we have everything we need for now, we should update our successes here. Added ammo pools to all weapons. That's not true. We forgot to add the weapon pool to the torpedo. Let's do that real quick. This should be relatively easy to just add real quick. So we just need to cast to player boat. We need to get player character. Get torpedo ammo pool. And then we ask ourselves, do you have more than 0 torpedoes? Double click here, bring this up, drag across. And if we do successfully fire or torpedo, we want to get torpedo ammo pool and decrement it by 1. That way we are losing ammo. Okay. Oof. Fixed weapon firing mechanics. Okay, we did this. We need to start displaying our active weapon slots, which is a problem because we don't actually have a way of controlling our weapon slots. So that's the next thing we need to do. Excuse me. So by default, our active weapon is going to be set to 0. However, we can switch between them using the number keys. So we need to start establishing those controls. So, weapon type 1. When we press it, we're going to set our active weapon to 0. That's literally all we need to do. So weapon type 2. Same thing, but we set it to type 1. And then finally, weapon type 3. We just need to set the active weapon. Whoops. Set the active weapon to... Oh my goodness. There we go. Weapon type 2. File and save. Bam. We now have weapon switching. Added weapon switching to player vote BP. Cool, cool, cool. So let's go ahead and do that and line these up. Comments it off. We'll just call it weapon switching. We'll give this the red color. Show bubble when zoomed. Cool. Now we just need to set up the widgets to support this. So let's close all these weapon stuff for now. We'll come back to it. Okay. So all of this are the camera buttons. We'll leave that white. So now we need to display our ammo. So if I pull up the, where is it? Up here. So there it is. So in the game, the original game that we're attempting to remake here, all of the ammo is displayed on the right of the player's compass, and it's on a stacked fashion with a diagonal flow to it. I don't know if we're going to do a diagonal flow to it, but we can certainly mimic the ammo pools being on the right-hand side. And you can see there's a little more something here. Pretty sure if I try to open this in full, maybe we could just do this temporarily. There we go. That looks like health kits. I don't know if I'm gonna implement healing just yet, but I want to have some indicator that your weapon is ready to fire or still reloading. So that's the next thing we're gonna attempt to work on here. So, just to keep things organized, we're gonna first need a vertical box. And we're gonna anchor this to the bottom right of the screen. So set this to 0, 0, should put it there. Move the anchor, not anchor, the widget's position to, let's go about here. Let's do -435. And this is gonna need to house a lot of information. So let's shoot for 500. That might be excessive, but we'll see, right? -200. Nope. Positive 200? Nope. -600. There we go. So -600, and then let's put this close to the crosshair so the player doesn't have to look too far off screen, or off action, I should say. How about -555? We'll widen this up like this. make it 500 by 500. Alright, next thing we want to do is add a horizontal box. So this horizontal box will hold a couple of different things. So first things first, I'd like to have a indicator for what weapon slot is active. So maybe some text just to start. Add that to the horizontal box. We'll just call it 1. And just to make sure visibility is good on this, we're gonna put in some settings that I've been using very frequently as of late. Starting with the outline settings, we want to make sure it's outline 5. You see, it already kind of makes it a little bit easier to read than just having no outline. Demonstrate. That's pretty hard to see. Outline 5, bam, a little bit easier to read. Next, we're just going to copy this twice. So this text should be, oh, copy into that. Make this 2. And then do it one more time. Make this 3. Alright, so we now have our 3 weapon slots. So this should be the slot 1 indicator. Slot 1, slot 2, and slot 3. These will be static, they're not going to change, they just exist. Next, we're going to need, I don't know why I cleared that, we need another text field. This will be the weapon name. So single barrel cannons. Actually, we should make this all caps. It's easier to read. Single barrel cannons. There we go. Give it the number 5 outline. Copy this here. Change this to triple barrel cannons. And then one more time, torpedoes. I think torpedoes will center it. Nope, we'll keep it as is. Next thing we want to do is trying to think how I want to do this, because what we need to add now is the actual ammo counter for these. Maybe we'll just do text again. Just add it to the end. Then we'll just put a freakishly long number there, like 1000. Just so we can get an idea of how our spacing is. And then if we can maybe just justify it on the far right. Nope, that's not how that works, evidently. Thought there was a way to make it far right. There we go. So they're kind of lined up now. There's a little bit of offness to it, but I think that's because this text is really big. We'll just quietly shrink that to 21. Yeah, now they're kind of starting to line up a little better. Justify the center. There we go. So now we have our ammo counter. Well, at least the display set up for it. We need to add the actual functionality, so let's get started on that. Luckily, this is very, very, very simple, especially in Unreal's widget editor. So just select the text that you want to be dynamic with the player's ammo pool. And right next to the text field, there's a little bind. This allows you to create functions that control what is displayed there. So we'll hit create binding. We should probably name these slots real quick. So this will be the, oops, do I have caps lock on? I did. Single ammo pool. Triple ammo pool. And we'll call this last one torpedo ammo pool. Cool. Anyway, back to this binding. We'll rename this to get single ammo pool. Then we just need to get the player character's information here. So get player character. Get single ammo pool. And then all we need to do is just convert this integer into text. So now, if we go to our boat save here, let's say we have one single barrel cannon, and let's say we have 5 rounds. If we test the level now, you'll see a lot of screen here. But yeah, weapon slot 1, single barrel cannons, 5 rounds. Working just as intended. So that's good stuff. Do you want to add some outlines to these things? And I'd also prefer if I also still want to add the something to signal that these are active or not. So I think what I'll do is, I think the horizontal boxes can be colored. Or am I imagining that? I was imagining that. It's probably more accurate to say that the text can be colored, unless we want to add an image behind them, which is something we could also do. We'll come back to it. Because I'm not even sure if I'm going to stick with this font at the end of the day. Anyway, we know this is working, so now we just got to set it up for everything else. So let's get the triple barrel cannon set up. Get triple ammo pool. Oops. Well, it's fine. Cast to player boat. Get player character. Get triple ammo pool and convert that to a text. Make sure we, oops. Make sure we clean this up a little bit so it's readable. And then one more time for the torpedoes. Get torpedo ammo pool. Cast to player boat. Get player character. Get torpedo ammo pool. And convert it to text. So let's do something just to make sure the weapon slot stuff is working. We're going to bind the color of the text here. Or actually, there's a background color, I'm pretty sure. Shadow color, maybe? If I turn this alpha all the way up, what does that look like? And then let's set the offsets to 5 and 5. Ooh, I like the look of that. But I don't know if I want that to be how we display active. There's a strike brush there. Color and opacity, that's already set to max. Strike brush. Doesn't seem to change anything. Let's turn the shadow offsets off for just a second. Outline color, that's already been set up. Yeah, there's no backgrounds for this. We just have to do something different. Okay, so let's just do something very basic for now, just to make sure that this is working. We'll create a binding for the color. So we need to... First of all, we need to expose this as a variable. Set color and opacity. Promote that to a variable. Let's make active look red, just to test it out. So first thing we need to do is cast to player boot. Get the player character. And then we need to get active weapon. Then get branch. Because all we really need to check is this the active weapon slot? Which is as simple as just asking, is the active weapon equal to 0? Because 0 is the single barrel cannon slot. So if true, set the color and opacity to... Ooh, actually, we need to plug it in like this maybe. And then set... Ooh, it's not going to let us edit it like really that simply, huh? Color and opacity. Nope. Okay, how about we just call it active color, and we'll duplicate that and call it inactive color. And the inactive color will be our traditional color text. Then we'll just promote this to be slot 1 text color. Set that on both sides. And then if the slot is active, we'll change it to red. And if it's not, we'll change it to white. Then just hook these up, put them into the return node, and if we test this, you can see the red is on, and if we change weapons, it turns white. Simple as that. So let's add that functionality to everything else. So we're going to need to do a couple things here. Slot 1 doesn't need to be a variable anymore, thankfully, so that's very simple. Color and opacity. We can literally just copy this like so. Then we can just duplicate this, call it slot 2 text color. Plug this in like that. Set it on both sides. Then take our active color, plug it into the top, set our inactive color to the bottom, and then we only want this text to turn that color when it's, oh, sorry, not slot 2, slot 1. Because slot 1 is technically slot 0. Cool. Then we can just test this real quick. Just like that. And now we just need to do this one more time for the torpedoes. So we'll duplicate this again. Slot 3 text color. Plug this in down here. Copy all that, paste it there. Give ourselves some more breathing room here. Set the slot 3 text color on the true and false. Add the active color to the true statement. Add the inactive color to the false statement. then just hook these up. Oh, and change the active weapon value to 2 for slot 3. So slot 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Very, very simple. We'll probably come up with something more fancy for this as we get closer to the end of the game jam and want to start polishing things up. Ooh, looks like that's working as well, which is good. How many single barrel cannons do I have? 1. Probably not shooting because it's hitting the... Here, let's just try 50 and 50. Or is that what we have on the slot 2 here? Yeah, 50 and 50. Okay. How about -50 and -50? There we go. Now they're separated. Single barrel cannon is not shooting, but the triple barrel cannon is. Did we skip something? Single shoot. Are you reloading? If not, check. Oh, shoot. Get single ammo pool. I must have accidentally taken that out a while ago. There it is. Silly me. At least it was an easy fix. That's the good news. Okay, so let's note our successes here. Added ammo counter to HUD. Indicated active weapon via colored text. Okay. So we did this, we did this, we did this. These two, well, these 4, I think I'm going to save for tomorrow's stream. Simply because I have some other commitments that I need to attend to today in about 10 minutes. So let's make sure we save all our project files, and then we'll use the remainder of this time to plan out tomorrow's activities. So let's copy this information here. I like that font. Update it to day 6, February 25th, 2026. And here are our goals. We want to work on the blueprints. So we want to display radar compass. We want to display the display player speed. And then we want to create a main menu widget. We want to create an options menu widget. And we also want to create a pause menu widget. I know that these 3 in particular are very small things, and I probably should start working on the actual ship customization feature, but I think I want to hold off on that until I know that these things are out of the way. So that way, if all else fails, we can just create combat scenarios for the player where they're given certain resources. I don't think it's going to come down to that, given that we have 4 days left and I have a decent idea on how I want to do the ship customization, but only time will tell, right? But yeah, that's going to be it for today. So thanks for everyone who tuned in, both on Twitch and on YouTube. Hopefully we can get more of this done tomorrow, and looking forward to finishing up this game jam. So yeah, I'll see you all then.